Hey Internet, it's RJ. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning into the show today. Now, today's episode, my global entry trusted traveler program is up for renewal, so we're going to focus on the full process and how to renew it, which should be transferable whether you have global entry, TSA pre, or Sentry as well. So we'll go through the full process to get you everything you need to know so you can take full advantage of your credit cards and not have to wait in line. So, of course, if that sounds interesting to you, then go ahead, press the subscribe button, and let's get to work. Now, as we said, this will be like a multi-step video as there are different parts of the process that happen at different times because, you're on the government schedule. So chapters 2 will be down below, but don't be surprised if the continuity of this video looks off a little bit because it's going to be filmed in stages, not all in one sitting how I normally do. But again, chapters down below. Now, of course, I'll give you the Cliff Notes version, but if you want, the details, the deep details of global entry, TSA pre, I have dedicated videos that will be linked down below for you. But again, I have global entry. Global entry also includes TSA Precheck. You need a passport to get global entry. It's basically meant for people coming and going into the country. But realistically, since the credit cards give you usually a credit for one or the other. Since I have a passport, I went for global entry to maximize that credit, even though I don't technically think I've used global entry. So anyways, the program itself, again, is through Department of Homeland Security, even though you interact with TSA through the airport. So these programs, both of them, they're good for 5 full years. However, once you hit year number 4, that's when you can start to renew it, which works perfectly because a lot of the travel credit cards that we talk about often have a credit for this. Even cards as low as $95 give you a credit for this, either TSA pre, which is $85, or global entry, again, that is $100. So, I don't really often go into my Trusted Traveler account, so I didn't know it was time for me to update this, but you do get an email, and I'll put this on screen for you, and we'll quickly go through it here. So again, do not reply at customs-and-border-patrol.dhs.gov, so it's always important to check the address, but it says program expiry. So your Trusted Traveler membership will be expiring soon. Now, they don't give you the date, but again, I will see it when we jump into the account in a little bit. But if you wish to renew your membership, you'll need to log into your Trusted Traveler program, and it gives you the sites to go through. And of course, it gives you some instructions on what you need. Your Pass ID, which is basically that number that they give you that you added to your Delta or United account to get the TSA PreCheck to appear on your ticket. And of course, down here at the bottom here, it is due to significant increase in application volume. Of course, they're just saying, hey, it's going to take a while, so it might actually take a while for me to finish this video. And then form program expire for global entry, fast, south, or Sentry. So if you're doing TSA pre, you might get a little bit different of an email because you can see down below at the bottom it's just going to mention global entry, fast, or Sentry. So that's the email you get, and really that's all they tell you. Now, of course, in typical government fashion, they're leaving out some information. When does it expire? How long do I have? But again, because this is a government process, we don't really want to wait around. And again, I'll say this when we can jump into it. The card I'm going to be using is actually my Amex Delta Platinum, which is perfect timing because I was actually thinking about canceling or downgrading that card, but it does come with a $100 credit for either one of these programs. So when we jump over here, all you're going to do is take that card that has the credit, and you're going to pay at, checkout with that card. Now, a lot of times with these credits, you tend to have to go and opt in, but if you go to the Amex site and their benefits, it says opt in, but it really just takes you to the portal, to the government portal to get started. And back then, I think I signed it when I had the Sapphire Reserve, and it was the same thing. So basically, as long as it shows up with the proper code, which it should, then you'll get credited just like that. So that's really what you're going to want to have on hand. But of course, again, three parts here. This was the intro. We're going to go through the actual renewal process over here, and then there could potentially be another follow-up interview because again, when you sign up normally you have to interview. Don't know, we'll see. So again, it'll be in stages. So anyways, let's get started here, jumping over to the computer and get a move on. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so you click the link in the email that we just took a look at. This is kind of the landing page where you end up at. Again, it's kind of the home page for these Trusted Traveler programs. So they've got all the options here, and of course you come down to here, you can see high volume of applications, so it's probably going to take a while, so we might as well jump on this now. I don't think it'll take that long, but it's the government, so you never really know. So you could do this, but since we already have an account, we'll go to login. Now, overall, I'll have to black out a lot of this stuff probably, but we'll sign in and see where this is going to take us. And so here we go. This is kind of your account dashboard. So you can see, again, some of the questions we had from the emails. You can see your global entry approved, and then it includes pre-check and then membership number. But it expires May 23rd of 2023. It's actually my birthday, so send your gifts early, just like they sent the renewal form early. You cannot renew your membership until May 23rd, 2022. So obviously earlier this spring, so it looks like they give you a few months and they send you a notice to get on it. So there is a giant renew membership button right here, so let's go ahead and click that. So now we're going to really get into it. So again, here we have it. If you have paid for an application through our old website, please, okay, so I don't think that applies to us. So determine your eligibility. I mean, we know we're eligible because we already have it, so yes, we're a citizen, so we can go there. Now we want to select the program. I find it odd that I have to select considering I am renewing already. Is there not a renewal option in here? Optional programs to your applicant? Nope, there is not. Okay, so we want global entry because, again, that covers everything. If you flying internationally the next 6 months. So basically they're saying if you're flying internationally, you should probably come and do it much quicker, but we're not, so we'll do that. And of course it includes TSA pre. So we were going to scroll down a ways, and then looks like we're pressing next. Continue with the global entry application. See, it is weird that it reads like this because, again, we're renewing, but okay. So here we go. So acknowledge your application requirements. There will be a background check. So global entry is a voluntary program. So you can pause that and read it. But again, there's a background check, of course, and an interview is required. Now, I have heard of some folks being able to renew and not having to actually do another interview. So apparently that might not be us, but that's fine. Let's keep going. So it is weird it says apply when we're renewing, but that's okay. If you filled out at least one trusted travel application online, then most of your renewal application should be pre-populated. Okay, there we go. There we go. So let's hope this pre-populates because. Alright, so here we go. This is going to be most of the stuff that probably gets blacked out. So I will probably just talk about this and then complete it and rejoin you guys. So again, personal info, documents needs to be addressed, license is good, vehicle info, address info is good, employment, travel history, and just so there are some things that we have to address. There's the 11 errors that you have to take a look at. So I'll go through these pretty quickly and then come back to you in a second versus you having to just wait while I fill out all this stuff. Alright guys, and so here we are, back together again. Now yes, of course, it's supposed to be a tutorial, but again, it was just filling out a bunch of different personal information, honestly. So you can see all these were now green, is where some of them were red before. So a lot of it does auto-populate because it is a renewal, but they do want you to go in and like reconfirm your driver's license as the date changes. Address info in case you moved, employment information, things like that. Stuff that you would have thought would have been filled in the last time, weirdly enough, like employment information, listing old employers' phone numbers. Still had to go in there and plug that in, which that was a little bit odd, but that's okay. Now, there's one thing here. This is actually the second time I'm trying this. You would think you'd scroll all the way down and hit save and continue, but if you do, you get this button right here that says please confirm, and there's no actual confirm button. So really what you have to do, again, I'm going to have to expand all these and kind of black some stuff out, but if you expand it all and scroll all the way down, if you expand it, you actually have to go through all of these and hit confirm and continue on every single one. So I'll try to leave you so you can just see the buttons that we're pressing, but you have to confirm every single one of these, and then you can actually move forward. It's a little bit odd how they do that considering how we just went through it, but that's fine. So now we come to here, certification of global entry application. So again, you could open these if you wanted to, review and acknowledge. Do you certify? Of course we certify, and then we hit next. And then, okay, so here we go. We have an application ID that's blacked out. So yes, it is going to be $100. Yes, I understand the fee is non-refundable. Please pay by 76. We're going to pay now. So here we go. It's going to send us to a spot where we can pay, hopefully. So of course, again, if you're using credit card, which you should be, you're going to want to pay with debit or credit card. Continue. Again, I'm going to black this out. I'll rejoin you shortly, but again, where we talked about it, this is going to be my Delta Platinum card because it has the $100 credit on it. So hang tight, and I will rejoin you in a second after this information is completed. Alright guys, so there we go. That is the actual renewal process, at least part one, submitting it online. You can see we have selected our program, we filled out the application, we've paid. Now we're waiting for that conditional approval, then interview, attend in-person or remote or virtual interview, have interview and wait for approval, and activate membership card if needed. So these are our upcoming steps. Now again, we will flip it back over here in a second. This will kind of be like a two-parter deal. Once I get an approval, I'll come back here and tell you how it goes. But again, I've heard people not having to do interviews again. I've heard them having to do interviews again. So I think we've gone as far as we can now. So we will put this one on pause and pick it up again whenever we get the final approvals. I'll talk to you shortly on the other side. And once again, for like the 5th time in this video, we jump forward by the power of video magic. But really quick, this is kind of like if you've ever seen Dragon Ball Z and they go in the hyperbolic time chamber and, inside 1 day passes, or a year passes inside, and outside only a day passes. Well, that's like what just happened, because what you just watched was actually taped in November of 2022, and it is now December of 2023. So it took a full year and some change to finally have the outcome of this process. So the good news is we did get approved without having to do the interview again. You get a random email from DHS and just, hey, log into your account, and then I'll put it on screen for you. But then you have the approval stamp, which is great. Now the expiration date is good for another 5 years, which you can see. So they didn't, despite it, expiring in May of 2023 and it being December of 2023 when it finally got done, they didn't adjust the expiration date, but it's fine because what they've been doing, what the government's been doing, is simply extending everyone out. So I've been places on planes through TSA pre and my Precheck worked just fine. Now, if you're watching this in the future, hopefully this is not the case for you. All these delays, again, were due to the government shutdown, them trying to catch up, but this is also the benefit of renewing as soon as you get that email, because again, it helps to just jump on things earlier. Other things here, of course, the Amex Delta Platinum credit did work. I can't show you that one because I canceled that card quite some time ago, but it did work, so we didn't have to pay for this, which was nice. And in addition to that, you shouldn't have to update your known traveler number anywhere, like in the Delta app or United if you use that, because the number doesn't change. So that should be fine. One other thing to note here, though, is when you look at the approval, there is a little button there that says Request New Card. Now, they do give you like this global entry card that I believe you can use when you're driving into Canada or Mexico or stuff like that. So the card that I have is expired, of course. So it's not clear if the government's going to just auto mail me another card, or I would have to manually request one. I'm probably just going to request it because the button's there, so it leads me to believe you need to ask for it. I've never used it, but I don't know, it costs $100. Might as well have it just in case. Versus the expired one, you never know. So overall, again, it's pretty straightforward to the point. Again, we did get lucky because we didn't have to do the interview process. Now, I know some people who renew do have to do the interview process, which would go back. And if I remember from the first time I got it, it's pretty standard stuff like, are you terrorist questions? Why do you want this? Which should be obvious given, you're renewing it, so you had it to begin with. So overall, if you did have to do the interview process, then they would send you another email and you'd log in and tell you, okay, register for an interview. Last time I did mine at the airport, there's usually a TSA office there. Also being in Michigan, so close to the Canadian border, there are like border crossings by the Ambassador Bridge where you could go as well, where they have like Customs and Border Control office over there where you could do. Again, that's not going to be for everybody. Most people, airport's going to be the easiest place to go, but again, considering how long they made us wait, the least they could do is not make us re-interview. So all in all, there you go. Renewal, not too bad. I think the thing to take away here is just stay on top of it as soon as that notification comes and get it going. And again, make sure that you're using a credit card that gives you that $100 credit. Again, so many of them have the $100 credit at this point that, no one should really be paying for this anymore. Again, you can still use another family member's credit if you want. There's no way for the card really to know because it just goes off of the credit of the charge that gets billed back to the card. But anyways, we are now fit to fly again, so let me know if you think this is the start of a travel segment of the channel, or do we just have it on occasion? Wishful thinking, I guess. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching this adventure across the span of a year. Hopefully I don't look too much older. But anyways, if you like this one, drop me a thumbs up down below. If you found it particularly interesting, consider subscribing to the channel because we're posting content just like this every single week. And of course, right back every Sunday with all the news you can use in the week that was in credit and finance. And of course, every single day over on profitablecontent.com. So if you need something to read on the plane, we have the latest news stories, we have bank promotions, and we have credit card offers, many of which come with TSA pre or global entry credit. So if you're in the market, go ahead, take a look over there. It's always linked down below for you and on the home page as well. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you very soon in the next one, but hopefully not a year from now. Take care.